Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Growth Switch with me, Cyril. Remember again, if you've missed out on any insight from our previous episodes in this season or the previous season, you can go to our YouTube page, the Growth Switch with Cyril, or you can go to personal website on www.cyrilmadiwa.com. Then you can go to the Growth Switch tab, and you can find the insights there. Remember, these are practical insights to help you, as a student or as a young professional, as you look to take the next steps in your important journey of development. In this episode, we'll be speaking about creativity and innovation, a skill that has become much sought after in the industry. Increasingly, the world is presented with challenges which don't need traditional methods, or rather, traditional methods don't work as effectively. Just recently the whole world got swept by the COVID-19 pandemic. Older vaccines or older ways of doing things didn't seem to work. Now all of us had to adjust and live under a new normal. Organizations develop vaccines, so they had to go through their own creative and innovation processes to be able to come up with those vaccines, right? So this is a very important skill. If you're entering the workplace nowadays, without this, then you tend to be on the back foot already. So I'll be sharing some considerations with regards to this, topic and the skill, in terms of what this means and what you can do, particularly on your journey, to make sure that you are equipped. First of all, when it comes to creativity and innovation, like I said, it's all about trying something new that's never been done before, right? So it requires certain type of thinking, right, to be able to get there. I know we all know of world-renowned, people who are creative and innovative what they do. The likes of Elon Musk. He's out there trying to solve such big problems actually for humankind, some of which most of us haven't thought about, that there might be an issue down the line, but he's already there. So linked to what I was going to say next, in terms of the whole point of you being creative and innovative in your solutions is because you're trying to solve for a problem. So you need to understand what is the problem that I'm trying to solve for, right? So this could be either in your workplace or in your personal life. For example, in your personal life, you might be wanting to throw a party for a friend. Maybe it's their birthday, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this in the most creative manner? That's not going to seem so cliche or overdone, or maybe they might have seen this type of party multiple times somewhere else. It could be in your workplace, where you're presented with a problem that's never been seen before in your workplace, and you have to think, logically and critically, to be able to solve it in the most innovative way, right? And then, thinking in this manner, right? Might look at some world-renowned people who think in this manner, like the likes of Elon Musk, what I mentioned earlier. If you think about it, thinking in this manner, there's always a mix of three things, really. One of them is the motivation, right? You have to be motivated to want to solve this thing, right? And you want to solve it in the most creative and innovative way possible, right? Unless you have that motivation to do that, most likely, you will struggle to tap into your creative side, right, to do it. Number two is basically understanding, and having rather the expertise, in whatever, issue that is, right? So the likes of Elon Musk, he's able to solve problems because he's been able to upskill himself, understanding that industry, the ins and outs, and wherever he's got gaps, he's been able to, bring on board experts, right? So for you, as you look to, say, throw that party for your friend, are you organized? Is this type of thing that you're good at? If you're not, can you pull some other of your friends as part of your team to be able to come up with a more creative solution? In that task at work that's not been seen before, that issue, do you have the skills to basically solve for this issue? Is it something you can learn, through a course, or or is it something that you can get another colleague on board who's more skilled, to be able to at least have that balance, And then number three is being able to think at that level, that critical thinking, so you can have the motivation, you can have the skills, but if you don't, if you're not able to think, at that level or in that manner, that becomes an issue, right? So that one is a matter of practice. You may do some courses that teach you some techniques on how to think more more creatively, or innovatively. Yeah. So that's the mix, right? Now this whole theme of like creativity and innovation has come within itself in the real world through a term that's become more popular, disruption, right? So if you look at the likes of Uber, Airbnb, to name a few, these are organizations that have come into traditional industries and have disrupted them through their innovative models, right? And obviously the traditional players are not so happy because they've been caught on the back foot. They haven't been as innovative in how they're doing things, right? Now, another thing to touch on is as you are working through your creative solution, make sure that you try and wear like different hats, right? So what do I mean by this? So as the creator of the solution, you have a view, right? But then it could be that that solution will be used by another department or a customer or whatever. Try to view it as a customer now and see, okay, with this really as innovative as we think it is, right? There could be other stakeholders in this, right? Like the regulators. It might be a product that's going to be regulated, whatever industry that you're on. So you need to look at it from that angle and say, okay, so what would the regulator think of this? So try to wear different hats, and the whole point is to make sure that your solution is as robust as possible, right? Because you already think what the issues or comments or potential problems that the other stakeholders who are going to be using this solution may have down the line, and then you try and solution for those upfront. So the last thing I just want to share, with any solution, more so a creative, innovative one, you never know how it's going to go unless you implement it, right? Or you test it rather. So it's important to actually do that step to test it, because there's a lot to be learned as well through that process. You might think this is a very creative solution, it's going to blow up in the market, but then when you run a test through a small cohort of people, you find that it's not so creative according to them. So then you have to go back to a drawing board and see, what other things can we tweak, right? And it's an ongoing and continuous process, right? There's creativity and innovation. I mentioned earlier some traditional, players in the transport and hotel industry who were caught, off guard by Airbnb and Uber, because they were not innovating on a continuous basis. So it's important that you do so on a continuous basis. All right. So that's it for this episode. Remember, we are on social media. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us as well, and Twitter. And that's where we tend to post videos in between. These YouTube channel videos. We also post other motivational content. So please follow us there. And remember, we've got one-on-one coaching and mentoring sessions for you as you look to take your next step. They are tailored to your needs, and all you have to do is just contact us on the growth switch at cyrilmadiwa.com, and we'll respond with further information and next steps. And thank you for your time, and we hope this was useful. And if it was, please share with someone else. Thank you.